the power of this technology goes so far beyond what like the typical like table conversation about VR gives it credit for. You know, like we talk about it as like a useful tool or an immersive, fun experience, but what we're talking about is like truly transformational.
It should be perfectly possible to trick your brain into any experience if your brain can already do that itself naturally. So VR is almost like taking that ability for our brain to generate any experience for us and like putting it in our hands, which is wild.
Man, that's something in the history books. People are going to look back and be like, yeah, 2022, 2023. That's when education, after hundreds of years, finally upgraded.
We're in a strange time where our physical worlds are intersecting with our digital identities, and right now is a time to kind of determine what you want that to be.
Once you have full body tracking that works well and it's frictionless, right? Meaning it's easy to do.
Yes.
It's a whole new. It's not a game changer, it's a whole new game.
So maybe there will be some other people who would be curious to see what I'm learning, what I'm discovering, so to say. And that's how the Discover YouTube channel started.
Oh, not really disco VR, Discover.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel bad when people ask me about VR, or they're like, what do you do? Like, all right.
Yeah.
You asked, here it comes.
I love VR, but I love going out and breathing fresh air. And not only was I stuck in VR for 10 days, I was stuck in one room because I was streaming, the same space. I didn't see the sunlight. I totally lost track of what time everything was.
She dances with the robot. She does the first steps. She dances with that robot. She takes that thing off her face. I have the video. I'm holding it hostage. She takes it off her head and she says, I gotta have it.
There are a few moments in my life I can remember very vividly. The day I got married, the day my kids were born, the day Facebook announced that they bought Oculus is one of those days. I was making chili.
I've been in a lot of gaming communities, and the VR community is by far the best community that I've ever been involved with.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Between Realities VR podcast. Yeah, it's the best VR podcast. We know. And we thank you for also knowing that and being here with us. It's Friday, right?
That it is.
It's Friday, September 1st.
Yep.
Month 9 of 2023.
Thank God August is over.
Yes.
Maybe the flame pit we call Phoenix will start to cool down now.
August was quite a month.
Yeah, scorcher.
A super scorcher, and a lot that happened in the month as well, which contributes to that. But this week in Phoenix, it's already like 10-15 degrees cooler, so things are good. And we thank you guys for joining us for today's show. My name is Alex. I am one half of Between Realities. The other half right here, sitting next to me, it's Skiva.
What's up, buddy?
Dude.
Good to see you, man. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Yeah.
We didn't have a show last week.
We did not.
Because why?
Because I was traveling the world a little bit. I mean, a couple places. Right?
I would call that traveling the world. I mean, what do you have to go to like every country to say you just traveled the world?
I think probably, right? Right? I went a couple places. So I went to Gamescom in Cologne, Germany, which was great. And we'll talk about that after we bring in our guest, because our guest was also there. And we're going to just do a quick recap of some of the awesome things we saw there and what Gamescom is like, and then we headed over to London, England, and some different parts of the UK as well, and met up with some awesome people. Yeah. So it was great, and but it was a lot of travel, and wasn't able to get this show in, unfortunately. And every minute of every day, I missed our live chat. I missed everyone here. I missed all the VR homies.
I just sat in a dark room between the hours of 2 and 3:30 last Friday. I just like sat by myself and like I was just sad. And
I felt it. I felt a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, it was messed up. And we did the crew cast on Monday without you and Ash.
I know, man. I watched it from a train.
That's cool.
I know. I was in a train and I kept losing signal, but I'm like, no, I got to watch a crew cast.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was good to see you guys on there.
Yeah, I was on there trying to defend Firewall.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know.
It's rough.
I know, man. It's I guess we can't win them all. You know what I mean?
We can't. But as we were just mentioning, it's September 1st. It's 2023. It's Between Realities. I don't know. What do you need to know? Like and subscribe. Okay, do that. Hit the buttons. It's not that hard. Hey, are you not signed into YouTube? Sign in. Who cares? It's a Google account. Sign into YouTube. Like and subscribe. And
that'd be great.
Join the VR community on YouTube because it's an amazing thing.
It really is.
What else
a lot of amazing people.
Upload VR. They're our homies. We are official partners with Upload VR. We're correspondents, actually, to use the correct term. And you might be catching this as a pre-recorded version, not live on Upload VR's website. And if you are, that's great. Thank you for liking us and liking Upload. Or maybe you're listening to an audio version.
Yes.
Yeah. We're on all the audio things.
Spotify and iTunes and Google Play Podcasts and I almost said Audible because of you.
It's the best. It is good though. It makes sense. It feels right. It sounds like it should be a podcast platform.
Yeah, but it's not. So don't go there. Right. But we are kind of all over the place.
I am putting us on Audible.
We do prefer the YouTube version because we do put a lot of work into the aesthetics of the show and so we roll trailers and show things, so you can't get that in the audio version. But no matter where you are, thank you. Just the same.
Like and subscribe. All right. Yep. Join the community. Join our Patreon. Become a channel member. Whatever. And if you're wondering why should I do that, you're about to find out why. Because we're going to have a great show. But before we do, quick shout out to everybody who did show up and join us for the live broadcast of Between Realities. Which, by the way, we were talking, Skiva and I, about like the time that this show happens. And like what would make the most sense. And we kind of have like tried to pick a slot that doesn't compete with anything and also like accommodates as wide of an audience as possible. But if you're a Between Realities fan who has never seen a live show because like it falls during weird hours or something like that, leave us a comment or join our Discord and tell us and like let us know what hour would be like perfect, because when we start up our next season we are going to rethink what time we do the show, and if it makes more sense to push it an hour a couple hours back or whatever, then we're open to it. So
or even do it on a Saturday or
different
whatever.
Day. Exactly.
Definitely open to
Saturdays has a lot less going on than it used to, I feel like
this is true
in terms of like VR podcasts and shows.
This is true because F Reality only does a show every once in a while, every couple weeks, right?
Rendered Reality stopped doing them,
which is too bad, man.
MRTV doesn't do them every week,
right
so they don't do it weekly, do they?
I don't know. I know they're on season break right now. But the Next Dimension podcast, which is a great podcast, by the way.
Whatever. I mean, dude, we should just push everybody else off of Saturday. Be like, you know what? No, like you don't want to compete with Between Realities on Saturdays, okay? All right. So anyway, we're gonna figure it out. But hey, what's up, chat? Chris Hanney showing up as the first in the chat for me today, saying hello all. Gonna try and stay awake for the show, but getting sleepy in my post Gamescom days.
Oh man,
I think is understandable.
Heck yeah, it is. Yeah. It's tough. I'm still dealing with some jet lag. It's tough. It's tough to go to a different country with a very opposite time zone, start to get used to it, and then right when you start to get used to it, you fly home and you got to undo all that, and your body just for a little while is foggy and weird. And
is it weird that it has never been an issue for me? I mean, granted, I've only gone to Europe twice, but both times I've gone, dude. I've like landed, I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And it
destroys me sometimes. Yeah. Like a lot of times I will stay up until I'm supposed to go to bed there, but my body's clock is still my body's clock, and I'll go to bed and I'll pass out hard for like 2 hours, and my body's like, yo, it's like 1 PM. What are you doing? Get up. I'm like, no, I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's a battle. It's a battle for me. I'm glad you are able to overcome that.
It hasn't been an issue yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
but
awesome.
I'm also not the ripe old age of whatever you are these days.
8,000.
Yeah, old,
true. I'm like Yoda.
Very old.
You know. Yeah.
Qcreator says the weekend, and he has never been wrong about it.
That's true.
Great to see you, brother. Brandon VR is in the house. He says firewall's fixed. Are you sure? Just because a patch dropped doesn't mean it fixed. I've heard from other people that it isn't fixed. But I would love for it to be. And if it's not Breachers tonight, yes, I will definitely play Breachers tonight. And I feel like I'm going to kill you. Just saying, Brandon. Bluebell's in the house. Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Classy Grandma flying in. I love it.
Classy. Whoop, whoop.
Yep. She becomes a channel member. And then she drops a $10 super chat.
Oh, Classy.
That's just ridiculous.
You're the best.
You know what? Just one of these for Classy Grandma real quick. Says, I just can't wait. So here's my wee contribution. Miss you guys, so stay the hell home. LOL. Love you, Alex, as well as my favorite little buddy, Skiva. Have a great show. Whoop, whoop.
All right, Classy. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Classy.
Classy sent messages while I was gone, asking me to cut my trip short and come home, do more shows. You got it. So thanks, Classy.
You got
it.
Or just do them from the road, man.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not between realities, obviously, but I almost said Qcreator. Crewcast.
Crewcast? Yeah. We almost did. We almost just went to GT's house. We got. I know, and we almost did it there.
That would have been mind blowing.
I know, but we were like, we went out with all these creators and we had a great time, and it got late, and it is what it is.
That would have been so.
But yeah, we almost ended up banging at the door, crowding around GT's mic. So
in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, that's funny. All right, Ryan B's in the house. He says the weekend has arrived. That's right. What's up, BR and VR friends?
Heck yeah.
We're all here.
Thanks for coming
together. Obscure Nerd VR.
Hey, what's up,
Shout out to Andy Southern, big time actor, landing a frickin' Little Caesars commercial.
I know, right?
Sick.
So cool to see him on there.
Yeah,
so
I saw him like in a football shirt, and I'm like,
first time I met Andy, I was like, this dude's going nowhere but up. He's going to succeed. He's a beautiful human. He's very talented, super funny. So props to you, dude.
Props indeed. Laszlo 216, Cleveland Heights represent, indeed, sir.
Hey, what's up,
Getting things done. That's Jay Dizzle.
Oh, Jay Dunn.
He's saying, let's go. It's that time. Dude, you already know, baby. You already know.
One of my favorite humans.
Ashley C, happy Friday.
Hey, what's up, Ashley?
Happy Friday, Ashley.
Happy Friday.
Mickey Bear.
Yeah. Dude. Miss you, dude.
What else do you need to say about it?
I know.
Nothing.
The legend.
That's it. It's just
the
Mickey
legendary
Bear.
Mickey Bear.
Yeah, Butter Something is chilling with us.
Hey, what's up, man?
A little Amelia Faust is chilling with us.
Hello, what's up, Amelia?
Matina, good to see you there. I saw that.
Hey,
was
what's up, Matina?
Name.
How are you?
Nice last name there, Matina.
Matina's part of AIXR.
Oh, actually. Is she?
Yeah.
Arcomani.
If it's the same. Arcomani. I believe it is.
I think it's Arcomani.
Yeah.
That's my guess. EP Pilot 007. Yo.
Hey.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. I think I said Amelia Faust, but I don't care. Hey,
You did. Amelia been bringing people all around the metaverse. Kind of in
Rift, Neos.
Rift. Yes.
Rift.
Neos. Yep. She's when I go out of town, she takes over and just brings people all over the place, man. Exploring the digital terrain.
She takes
I love
over.
It. She does.
She's like, when I leave my
she's
position,
great at it. She's a great tour guide. She knows what's up. She's super smart. She knows these platforms inside and out, so it's great.
Hell yeah. Arcanian's here saying, hey, folks.
Hey, Arcanian.
Been a while since I managed to join in time.
Hey.
Good to see you. Dan Kitty VR as well with the little cute kitty face.
What's up?
Thanks for showing up. Days Netic in the house.
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to see you as
well.
Got
to see Days Netic just a couple days ago.
Yeah, I'm so jealous of you, dude. Paul from the VR realm.
Hey, Paul, how's it going, man?
Hi.
We missed you.
We did miss you, and we're great. It's just great to see you.
I tried to drag Paul out to our UK creator meetup. He wasn't able to make it. Got stuck at work, and I thought about you the whole time, dude. Really, hoping you'd be there, but that's okay. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, I guess it's. I guess we'll take it. But next time somebody shows up in your backyard, all right?
Not really his backyard. I mean, I think it was like 4 hours away or something, but still.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No.
Fair enough.
Just the fact that he tried.
Like I said, I've been in Europe twice. And one of them was purely for a work thing, going to Sweden and hanging out at Volvo. And the first time.
And Resolution.
That's very true. And that was really fun.
Yeah.
Got to play Demio battles and loved it.
Nice.
I mean, it was fun. That's what I mean to say. But
is that still NDA?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. It was fun. That's what I can say. It was fun. But the first time I went to Europe was because Contact CI, the company that I work for that makes a multi-force ergonomic haptic glove, and even as a bonus, Between Realities were both named as finalists in AIXRs VR Awards. And the VR Awards...
What an honor.
Seriously, legitimately an honor. And the VR Awards take place every year in person in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And this is like a legitimate black tie event, like tuxedos, gowns, red carpet, super fancy dinner, champagne, like award ceremony, the whole nine. Super, super awesome. And meanwhile, you're in a room with like the best of the best in the VR industry.
Man, I got to say, you know, while last year, you know, I already had, you know, tickets booked and everything for Resolution Games and in Sweden, I was extremely, you know, I was so sad that I wasn't able to attend these awards because, I mean, first of all, it's VR Awards and everyone there is amazing, right? And being a finalist is such a big deal, right? But I'm so glad you get to go and represent Between Realities as well as represent your company that you work for. So this year, I'm there.
You are there.
Yeah, I'm absolutely there. We're already looking for places to stay.
And I'm there.
We're you know, looking at plane tickets. So this week we'll have all of our stuff booked and ready to go.
There it is.
So there it is.
Sweet. And who do we have to thank for the VR Awards but AIXR?
Yes.
Which is an organization within the VR space that does quite a few different things.
The Academy of International Extended Reality.
That's pretty fancy.
What a name. It's beautiful.
It is. Yeah, it is beautiful. And joining us today from AIXR is the CEO of AIXR and the first guy that you see on stage at the VR Awards every year. Everybody, please welcome to Between Realities, Mr. Daniel Colaianni.
Hey guys. Hi. Thanks for the very impressive introduction. Thank you.
Thank you for the very impressive award ceremony that I got to attend last year. That was a true highlight, like honestly, of like my life. You know, getting an opportunity to go to Europe and then attend an event like that. Like I was like pinching myself all night. So thank you.
And you get to go up on stage twice.
We'll get to that.
You're the lucky one.
That's right. I'm the only one to have ever done that too. Isn't that right, Daniel?
I think so.
I'm gonna say absolutely 100% verified.
I'm gonna scroll back through all of the previous years now because it's been so many years that I've honestly like I was at an event earlier today and someone said to me like, oh yeah, I was at the VR Awards in 2017 and I was like, dude, I can't even remember what happened in 2017. So.
I mean, and I imagine that, you know, you've been doing it for a while. This year's will be the 7th International VR Awards. I imagine the show itself has seen some changes over those 7 years, right? Like, what did the first year of the VR Awards look like?
Well, where do I begin? Well, really, like it was the first ever proper big event that I had ever put on with two of my very close friends at the time, Jamie and Kelly. Kelly is a creative director and designer, while Jamie is a developer, and I'm the kind of the marketing kind of brains behind a lot of the stuff. And we were very naive at the time, I would guess, very inexperienced in the space, and trying to understand, I guess, what we should be doing, right? And so when we first started everything, we weren't sure on that, and so it was just the three of us. No one else to support us. A crazy idea to run an award show for the virtual reality industry, and then here we are today.
I love it,
man. It's so cool because, you know, this thing that you started, that you organized, is often referred to as the Oscars of virtual reality, right? Like people hold the show in very, very high regards. And it's amazing. It's amazing to find all of the best in the industry and bring everyone together. And you know, it's not like it's right in everyone's backyard either, right? People have to fly a ways, some people, to get there. But
you know, and this is the crazy thing. When we first started, it was a standalone event. So we just had the VR awards, right?
Oh, wow.
So there was nothing else around it. It was just an award show in central London at the time, where we hosted it. Now we're partnered with ITW, so there's Immersive Tech Week and other things going on. But what blew my mind at the time was that all of these people were coming just for the awards, just to London for one night. And there's people flying in all the way from the States and different places. I remember it was just amazing when we first opened those doors and you saw everyone in their tuxes and their dresses. And the fact that, you know, even people from Meta turned up at the very first show, like from the States, just for one night, it was, it was amazing.
That's amazing. Well, I will tell you that I am coming just for the VR awards. It is a bonus that that VR Days is happening though, and you know, and the Tech Week. So that is great. But either way, you know, I know a lot of people would have been there. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm really, really excited to learn more about AIXR and kind of like how this thing kind of was conceptualized, and then maybe a little bit about, you know, what it takes today to pull this off. But before we do, I do think it's important that we do a quick touch-in about what happened at Gamescom, because I know both of you guys were there and a lot of stuff happened. So I feel like it's only fair that we like run through a little bit of that before.
Yeah, we're just gonna cruise through it real quick so we don't take too much time from our guest. Yeah, but like for anyone that hasn't been to or seen Gamescom before, it is, I think, the biggest gaming convention in the world.
Everybody's saying it's the new E3.
Oh, it is. I mean, E3 is dead, right? And this is absolutely massive. Right?
It's the only thing we can go to now, right?
Yeah, it's huge. All the big players are there. It's absolutely massive. And to give you an idea of the scale, imagine a big gaming convention, but imagine that there's 11 of them connected together, because there's 11 giant halls, massive, full to the brim of games and game studios and everything you could ever imagine about video games, all in one place. We were there for I don't know, a week or something, or 4 days, or however long this thing went on, and I saw half. Like I don't know how you would see the entire show unless you literally just walked it and you didn't stop to do anything.
Is this real that he's saying?
Well, I was gonna say you gotta get into the Gamescom mode. First day, you gotta do recon. You gotta go through the entire place, keep walking, don't stop. Right? but you know, it's like airplane hangar sizes. Like, and we're not talking about little tiny jets. We're talking about huge jumbo jets. You know, in terms of that size. And you should see the amount of steps on my app. It says I walked hundreds of miles that day. Week.
So what are you doing at Gamescom, Daniel? Right? Because like for me, it's easy to understand why Skiva's there. You know, he has a VR game marketing and promotion and company, right?
Yep, PR marketing.
PR marketing. Yeah, so like he's going there to meet all of these developers and to connect with the community and doing all of that. But like, what's your primary reason for going to a Gamescom?
I would say it's very similar. But you know, like, okay, so there's two types of people that go to Gamescom, right? There's the Skivas and Eyes of the world, where they're pretty much for business in terms of relationships, networking, meeting people. And then you've got the consumers, the people who love the games. They want to try them first. They want to see what's going on. And, you know, they're there for the community aspect of that side of things. From my perspective, you know, it was, you know, it's been a long time since I've been able to go to a really huge event, right? And the reason I go is because I get to see all of this progress that the industry's made and all these amazing people that are working. There was by my count, 50 new studios in the XR space that I'd never met before.
Wow.
That I had ended up meeting during that time, right? And for me, that's the thing. It's getting the pulse on the industry. Not necessarily having time to try out games and experiences, but getting the pulse of what are people working on, what are they doing, what are they struggling with, all of those kind of things.
Nice. So what did you see then, Skiva? Because it sounded like you stopped.
I did stop, and we had appointment after appointment after appointment, which is crazy because, you know, you might have one appointment in hall 2.1, right? And then your next appointment's in like hall 10.2, and you're like, all right, let's go. You know, you gotta
even worse than at GDC.
5 minutes to get there, but it's going to take you an hour.
Imagine, yeah, exactly. Imagine 11 GDCs.
Are you serious?
It is. It's like a city of games. It's nuts. I mean, it's almost comparable to CES, but way bigger. Way bigger.
Wow.
And I think maybe around 3 times the amount of people than at CES as well.
Bro,
so
I can honestly not fathom.
No, it is crazy. It is crazy to see that. And it's wild that everyone from all over the world is there. Everyone travels there to celebrate gaming, and it's amazing. It was a beautiful thing, and I really enjoyed it. So I just want to go over, I guess, just a couple of games that I really, really liked. The first one being Arashi for the PSVR 2. And now this is not a new title per se, because this was out on the PSVR 1, right? But oh my God, you would never know it, because this game's textures, resolution, everything about this game feels brand new and fresh. It is incredible looking, and it yields itself so well to the PSVR 2 hardware. It is also coming to Quest 2 and Steam, which is pretty awesome. But absolutely beautiful game. For the first time ever, I felt like a samurai warrior, right?
Nice.
The dog was so cool. They did a really, really good job on this game, and this is Skydance that published this game. And you know, Skydance doesn't mess around, right? The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, they really produce quality. So this was an absolutely fantastic game. And if you've played this before, I would say you probably need to play it again, because now you have the adaptive triggers and the facial haptics, and you have thumbsticks, right? PSVR 1 had, you know, the controls were a little lackluster, but this feels like a brand new game. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Really, really enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
So moving on real quick, another title that blew me away, which I got to meet Richie from Richie's Plank Experience, but yeah, so they are coming out with a new game, and I was thinking to myself, wow, what is this going to be? Richie's Plank Experience 2? How are these people going to torture us next, right? But they came out with a title called Max Mustard, and this game is like Astrobot meets Lucky's Tale. And it is absolutely gorgeous. They said their inspiration is Mario and Astrobot. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? Right?
I love these games,
dude.
Bro.
Me too.
I love these games.
Too.
I will absolutely play this.
Yeah.
Like, I've only seen 10 seconds of footage, but I'm already sold.
It's awesome. It really is awesome. It's a fantastic platformer. It has a lot of, has some Nintendo magic. The characters are awesome. Beautiful. The artwork's incredible. I have a build of this, so you're welcome.
No way.
You're welcome to play it.
Hell yeah!
So absolutely great. Did you get to play this?
I didn't get to play it, but I have a funny story, because Tony and Richie, who are together essentially, it's a really funny story where a couple of years ago, I actually made Tony late to her baby shower, her own baby shower, because she was finishing a submission for the VR Awards.
No way.
Oh, no way.
Dude, I will say, that submission process is...
It's not easy.
It was quite a hurdle. Like that was like loomed over me for like a week or two while I was trying to get through it.
No, I made it up because we had a meeting that we had to do like a couple of weeks later, and obviously they're in Australia and we're in the UK at the time, and so the call that we had was like basically I ended up having dinner with them while they had breakfast. With the whole family. Like, I'm not joking, the whole family was there at the breakfast table while when we had this meeting. So we always joke now that it's better to have breakfast than to have the mimosa at the end of the day, because otherwise we're not going to be doing much work. So I love you guys. I definitely picked the new title.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, we're just like having breakfast with the Richies.
Yeah, great people, man. Like him and his wife, I got to hang out with them quite a bit during Gamescom, and they were just incredible. They were incredible. They were so enthusiastic about VR, just complete sweethearts, and I really enjoyed their company, and I really, really enjoyed this new game. I mean, I think a lot of people are really, really going to like this, especially if they liked games like Ven and Lucky's Tale and Astrobot. This game is going to kill it. So excited for the world to get their hands on this.
What were you going to say, Daniel?
I don't know. I have a lot of funny stories around Richie's Plank, but I don't know if it's too relevant to Gamescom right now.
I don't even care if it's relevant. I want to hear that.
But like, I remember once when we had a meeting with, I don't know if you guys know, Barclays is a huge bank based in the UK, like a huge international bank.
I drove by it.
Had a meeting. And we were talking about VR a lot, and we were like, okay, what do we do to show them? So I called up Richie and I was like, can we demo your experience to the bank, just to show them like the power of not having super ultra realistic graphics but being immersed. So what we ended up doing was, imagine like the banking district, you know, in the UK, where it's just everyone in suits, banks, you know, like in banks everywhere. And we ended up walking into this huge lobby. We're talking like 40 stories high lobby with a plank in our hand. And the security looked at us up and down and was like, no, something looks dodgy here. But to this day, I remember as well, before we went into the bank, we had this plank and we were like, we can't just bring in this dirty plank. So we walked to the supermarket and we bought baby wipes and we're just wiping down.
Oh my God.
Cleaning it before we go into the bank lobby. But yeah, it was all good in the end.
So the bank was like, there's nothing suspicious here. This is a clean plank.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's been wiped down by a bunch of small wet wipes.
Me and Alex have demoed Richie's plank experience to so many people, and you know, to get this plank in our car, we put hinges on it, fold it in half, we put little feet on it.
That was genius, dude. That honestly.
No, thanks, man.
Genius move. You don't need to have a long plank. You cut it in half and put hinges on it, so it closes like a door or a cabinet.
We just stole a plank from like a reclamation yard.
And then we put like 3 feet on it, right? We put 4 and then we tore one off because we're like, no, this is gonna wobble.
Yeah, so that way when you step onto it, there's like a like a bit of like
really freak you out. Yeah,
and it really makes a difference. Like people get immersed without a plank. Like I see people jump from their floor into their TVs, but when you reach out with your foot and you feel the plank and it's different and you're like stepping onto it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this guy from Barclays, he was the head of digital for the entire banking service, but he was an ex-military paratrooper, right?
Wow.
And he jumped out of planes literally thousands of times, and when I told him to jump off the plank, he just would not do it.
Yep.
Even though he knew it was fake. So, you know,
dude,
to say.
Wow. I mean, and shout out to Richie and crew for making an immersive experience. That's what it takes.
I know.
High quality, you know? It might be simple, but it is just high quality. It is.
It's really, it's a great experience. I mean, you can't really, there's not a lot of people out there that know virtual reality that don't know Richie's plank experience.
Yep.
I mean, it is touched everyone pretty much in this industry, right?
Yep.
Very few games have done that, you know, one being Beat Saber.
Yep.
And Richie's plank experience, and
I feel like we've just been touched by the hand of a glorious man.
Oh, we have.
Scott Albright, the CEO of Combat Waffle Studios, developers of the best VR shooter in the world right now, Ghosts of Tabor.
Yep.
Just dropped $100 super chat.
Thank you, Scott.
$100. Boom.
What a guy, man.
I know.
What a guy, what a studio, and what a team they have. Like,
amazing.
This team just grinds and grinds and makes this game better and better. And by the way, there was a patch that dropped yesterday. And wow, did it change a lot of stuff.
Z-Storm told me it's
new
slapping.
UI systems, new sounds on the guns, and wow, man, it is sick.
Yeah,
it is really good.
Z-Storm told me it is slapping because he got hooked on Firewall, so he's been like talking to me about it, and we're like going back and forth on it, and he's like, but like looks like I'm playing Ghosts of Tabor this weekend because this game's broken.
Well, thank you, Scott.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
that super chat. That is really, really kind.
We're gonna go get something cool.
Also, VR Awards nominees as well for.
That's right. Yep. So Scott should be there,
dude. We are gonna be partying.
Oh, dude.
Rotterdam. We're all gonna be there. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so sick.
No, wait.
It's gonna be phenomenal.
Someone's having a baby, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Scott is having a baby.
Yes, he is.
So he's not gonna be there.
Oh.
It's like the day that his new baby is due.
That's right.
So he'll be sending somebody else from the team.
I think they should just give birth at the VR Awards.
At the VR Awards.
Yeah, so that way they're not an American citizen.
Yeah.
You're like born on foreign soil.
Oh, man. Now that kid's going to come out with combat boots and just
Yeah, no, that kid's,
like,
that kid's being born in America.
Yep, absolutely.
No questions asked.
Absolutely.
Paradise Decay also with the 2 pounds.
Thank you,
saying,
PD.
Payment for Ben's meal.
Oh, right on.
What, did you cover Ben's fries or something?
So when we were out in the UK, Beardo Benjo came, and Paradise Decay was there, and a whole bunch of creators, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Actually, I mean, I guess we just might get into it right now.
Yeah. Is there another game you wanted to talk about?
There's just a couple more games, but hold on a second. We might as well just play.
Skiva's got 2 thumbs on the buttons.
Yeah, I do. I got a lot of buttons. So just a quick little video with some creators as we talk here that we get to meet up with this past week, and it was awesome. But yeah, Beardo Benjo showed up, and we were hanging out, and we were eating, and he left without paying for his food. But it was complete accident.
Beardo Benjo!
No, complete accident. So anyway, yeah. That's okay though. We love Beardo. No, it was an amazing time, and everyone was absolutely wonderful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more amazing community. VR creators, developers, and everyone here is absolutely stunning. I just love this community. I really do.
Jay Brat with a $2 super chat saying another bit for the coffee fund. Hey, thanks, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, Steve-O should actually take advantage of that, because I drink coffee every time I'm here.
You do, and that's fine.
I don't pay for that.
That's okay.
Can you guys give me some coffee as well?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yes.
There'll be a knock at your door in about 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, you could probably use some coffee right now.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say. I mean,
where are you joining us from, Daniel? And what time is it where you are?
You know what? Like, I wish I could just turn the camera around and you'd see like a gondola out the window. But I'm in Venice at the moment for Venice Immersive or Venice Film Festival, the Biennale, and there's about like 50 like experimental kind of arts related VR experiences that are here. So we always love getting a curation selection and seeing what everyone's doing, from games through to art and media through to healthcare spaces. But yeah, it's a really great opportunity to meet a very different side of the industry as well, and see what they're working on at the moment.
That is so sick.
That is so sick. I've always wanted to go to Venice.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
a bucket lister for me.
And to go to an event like that, especially. Yeah. Let me ask you this, because we have a pretty big festival over here called South by Southwest. Maybe you've been to it or maybe you know about it. But it happens in Austin, Texas, and it's like films, music, art, technology, like the whole shebang. And there's like a pretty strong like immersive presence and like quite a few like VR films and stuff like that you can experience. But even with a platinum badge that you earn from being on the XR advisory board, it's basically impossible to get into any of these things. Like it's super competitive, and like the lines take forever, and like no one can get into anything. So is it the same at this? Like, are you able to actually engage with all this stuff and experience everything, or is it competitive to do so?
I think you can, but it comes down to the same question at Gamescom. Like, there's so much, right? You know, like, because the Biennale is also architecture, is cinema, is dance, is music, is immersive. And so I'd need like 10 copies of me to be able to do all of that. But the really cool thing is that the immersive stuff is literally on its own island. Nice. Like, I'm not joking. Wow. It's on it. Like, so you have to get a boat to it.
That's dope.
Wow.
And then you don't have to leave that island. You just stay there with all the VR people.
No, literally. And you know what's great about it? We're in Italy, so we just drink Aperol Spritz every day, so it's fine.
Man,
next year
I was doing okay until that line, and now I feel like I have the FOMO. Now I want to be there drinking Aperol Spritz in Italy.
The meetup. We have like 100 people signed up for a meetup on Sunday as well, where we're going to just have pizza party. So yeah, you're missing out.
Damn.
Man.
Dude, you know what I didn't miss, though? Was the 5 a.m. hotel lobby pizza party at the VR Awards last year. You remember that? It was awesome.
Oh, no.
It was awesome. I was, like, out partying all night long. I think it was the night that we did, I think it was the night that I was hanging out with Kaz and Sherry. Kaz and Sherry, amazing.
Oh, they're beautiful
amazing.
People.
They are so
people.
awesome.
Unbelievable.
And while we were in Rotterdam, they live in Rotterdam, like right there. And they invited a bunch of us in the crew back to their crib. Like I've been in Kaz and Sherry's apartment, like where they film their videos and stuff. And they were so nice. They're like pouring wine for everybody. Like they were amazing. But anyway, that was a pretty long night. And I remember walking home back to my hotel by myself in a tuxedo, like feeling like a gangster because it's 5 a.m. and I'm walking through the streets of Rotterdam and there is nobody around me. Like I have the city to myself and I'm like, yes, this is so sick. And I'm like thinking I'm about to go home and go to bed. And I open the door of my hotel and right there in the lobby is the entire AIXR team and they're all drinking beers and eating pizza.
Wow.
And I was like,
that's the squad.
Well,
hello.
Yeah, we ended up having like a little mini after pizza party at the hotel, but it's because like our teams, like you got to understand, we're like awake from like 8 a.m. on that day until like 8 a.m. like the next day. So like because we have to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. So pizza. Like the looks on the staff's face at the hotel when they saw how much pizza we had brought in.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. That pizza that you shared with me that night was so clutch. I don't think I even knew that I was starving. And then like I got there and you guys all had pizza. You're like, yo, come get some of this. And I was like, thank God. Oh my God, this is the best.
I'm gonna go out in a limb and say pizza is maybe the best food ever. I love pizza.
I'm not going to argue with that. I love
pizza.
I am not going to argue with that.
Bread, cheese, and sauce, man. That's all you need in life. Real quick, let's hit right. 2 more games here. And then we are free to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so this game came out of nowhere for me, and it's called Out of Hand. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, I've seen this.
Okay, yeah, we'll play this game. And I play games at these things all the time, right? And it's always weird playing a game at a convention, right? Because you're like, there's other people waiting. The people are standing there, like they're kind of looking to see what you're thinking about it. But you know, there's all this pressure to like get out of the headset, get someone else in. They had to pull the headset off of me. I did not want to stop playing this game. This game is stupid amounts of fun. By the same publisher that published Ghost of Tabor, actually, which is hilarious. But this game is so good. It's a legit platformer, excuse me, that uses mechanics kind of like Gorilla Tag, but it's like what Gorilla Tag, in my opinion, should feel like, because the hand motion in this is perfect, in my opinion. It is so good. This game is a ton of fun, and I think once you put the headset on, you're going to lose hours and hours in this game.
It looks like a platformer.
It is a platformer.
Yeah, first-person platformer.
It is, and you like throw yourself around with your hands, right? And then, but you can also, you're flying through the air, you can like stretch out your arms and punch these enemies and send them flying across the room, and it is just so much fun. It is really, really hard to tell by looking at a flat video like this, but you are going to lose so much time in this, just having a blast. It was really, really good. So I wanted to throw that out there. This
Do we know when it's coming out?
I do not know. I think it's coming out fairly soon. But keep an eye here. Yeah, keep an eye here. Check out Beyond Frames' website. It's the publisher, and it will be coming, and you will enjoy this game. It is super fun. And the last game,
I just have to point out that Paradise DK just said something sacrilegious to all Italians of putting pineapple filling in the crust of a pizza.
That sounds delicious. I'm sorry, that sounds really good. I love pineapple on pizza.
He does not represent America. Okay. Just for the record.
You get officially banned from Italy, right, if you put pineapple on a pizza.
That's okay. It's freaking good. It is so good. I really love it.
Take your ass to jail.
But I love all kinds of pizza. I love pineapple pizza. I like regular pizza. I like everything on pizza pretty much. I love Chicago-style pizza, Italian-style pizza, Brooklyn-style pizza. That's one of the wonderful parts about pizza.
No.
There's so many different kinds.
It doesn't give you a pass for this pineapple in the
thing. Pineapple.
Hey guys, I'm going to invite you to my place in Italy just so that we can make sure that you have I don't want to hear you say that anymore. We're going to have to fix this problem, all right?
Dude, and don't ever say something like that again unless you mean it, because like,
no, I mean it.
I will show up, bro. I will show up.
I'm not joking. I've actually had VR people turn up at my house. In Italy, and even game publishers. So
say no more.
Amazing.
Yo, fastest finger gets it. Mickey Burr dropping the Wizards Dark Times for Steam in the chat.
Nice.
Get that key and redeem it and get a free VR game courtesy of Mickey Bear in our chat here in the Between Realities community, because we have the best community in the world.
All right. Kind of last game is going to be Fast Travel Games is putting out a game called Vampire the Masquerade Justice. And I got to play this game at Gamescom, and I didn't know what to expect from this game. I had no idea. I went in completely like, I don't know, let's see what happens. But it's a stealth-like game. Obviously, you're a vampire. You need to, sneak around and descend on people and like grab them and bite their necks. And it was very hard as well, right? Because you can't be detected. Yeah. You get all these cool, you can put together all these concoctions and poison these arrows. And like, it was really, really cool. I think something like this in VR is definitely needed. There's going to be a lot of really good, good different style gameplay than what people are typically used to in VR. But we need something like this, right? Kind of like an almost Metal Gear-y type of vampire game. So this is great. Fast Travel Games does amazing things.
Great. Yeah. They make good stuff.
They really do.
I personally am I don't have the patience for the stealth games, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I get impatient. I'm like, somebody give me a gun. Like I'm going to murder this whole thing. Like I can't creep around. I want to kill everything.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, you do get to kill everything, I
want to kill it now.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love VR games, but the only issue is I'm lazy. I'm really lazy. Like I get home and I want to sit down on the sofa, so like I need a game that I can just like veg to. So like that's the biggest thing.
Dude, you need a Max Mustard. You need
you do
a VR platformer.
Yeah,
you
absolutely
sit there, chill, jam through it, like collect some coins,
I think a lot of people are going to truly appreciate this game because it's just so different. And who doesn't want to be a vampire? It's so cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a dream of mine, but I would do it. I would try it.
I would do it.
You in person, then it's fine.
All right. And the very last game, I don't have a trailer for, but I'm going to tell you it is called The Cabin Home Invasion, and it is a drop dead game. And I had zero expectation for this game, but I think so let me just give you a quick overview of what this game does. So it is a mixed reality experience. You map your room, you map your doors and your windows and your couches, right? And then the zombies from Drop Dead try to get into your house. And you're trying to defend your house. They start kicking in the doors. They're crawling in the windows of your house.
Actual doors and actual windows?
Yes. Uh-huh.
It can tell what's a door and what's a window?
Well, you tell it in the setup, right? And you're in it, jumping up on your couch and trying to get to you. Absolutely wild. Really, really cool. I thought it was going to be janky and weird, but it worked really, really well, and it was super fun. And the reason this game matters so much, I think, is because when people start getting the Quest 3, I think this is going to be the game where people demo VR and MR to people. I think people are going to be like, yo, check this out.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to put this Quest 3 on somebody, and they're going to go, oh, this is cool. Look at your house. And then all of a sudden, the house is going to get invaded by zombies, and people are going to lose their damn mind. I mean, this is really, really cool. I wish I had a trailer or something. They don't have anything yet. But keep an eye out for this, because it is really, really cool. The people at Soul Assembly are crushing it right now. So
nice.
Yeah. So anyway, those are some games. Those are some games. Gamescom was amazing. Our trip to London was amazing. Beautiful city.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing with my life. You know what I mean?
Gotta get to Gamescom.
Yeah, like what did I do wrong here? I misplayed my hand somewhere along the lines.
You got out of gaming.
Not intentionally. I'm just trying to keep my head above the water over here. I'm very grateful for where I am, but also.
Yes.
Take me to Gamescom.
Yes.
All right.
Well, cool.
Anything else you want to mention about Gamescom before we move on, Daniel?
No, the only one I know is that there was Seventh Guest, which is a Vertigo Games title, which they're going to release soon as well. I only found it interesting because I sat down with them and spoke a little bit about how they did the mixed reality capture of the actors. And from what I'm aware of is that technology and to do it at that level of quality is very difficult, and it's a lot of data, a lot of data. So yeah.
Well, I will tell you that Seventh Guest was one of the very first games I ever played back in the early 90s on DOS on the PC.
Wow.
You know, a whole bunch of floppies, and it was really, really cool, you know, going through this this haunted mansion, trying to solve these mysteries, doing all these puzzles, and I loved that game. It was really, really cool, and I'm really excited to see it come to VR, and especially by a quality studio like Vertigo Games. So I did not get to demo that game while I was there. Vertigo had like a little section in the play on area, you know, and it was like, I believe like the new their new community manager and some people that were there that I didn't know. I don't know if John was there, but anyway, just so many appointments. I didn't get to get in there, but very excited for Seventh Guest.
Nice.
Definitely.
I played two DOS games that I can remember as a kid. One of them was a Nightmare on Elm Street game.
Oh, cool.
Where
Nice.
it kind of looked like Pac-Man, but like, you know, there's a killer.
Yeah.
And you're like running from him. And it was scary just because I knew it was supposed to be scary. Like as a child, like the main splash screen had like Freddy Krueger on it, like pixelated. And I was like, oh God, here we go. You know? And then the other one was this Flintstones game that was such trash. Like I cannot tell you how awful that game was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I played way too many to get into.
Guys, you're showing your age now.
Yeah, for sure.
You ever played a DOS game, Daniel?
I don't think I have, you know.
They're rough around the edges.
You guys are gonna have to teach me some things.
You're not missing anything, trust me. Cool. So what is AIXR, right? Because I even know about AIXR. I've even been to the VR Awards, but I personally don't think I have like a full idea or like a complete understanding of the scope about what you guys do. So what is AIXR?
I mean, like at its core, you know, we're a networking platform. I mean, for XR enthusiasts, right? In terms of your community and what you've been building here. So it's all about how do we give people a platform or a space, an online digital community to be able to do business in this space and also work with each other, collaborations, partnerships, be able to build relationships kind of longer term for them. And so, you know, it's an interesting perspective because when we speak to people in this industry, we always ask them like, and these are people typically who are working in this space, right? And building things and doing stuff like that. We always ask them, hey, what's your biggest challenge, right? And there's 3 things that always come up every single time. With the one biggest one being building connections in this space, which is the most ironic thing because, you know, we're in virtual reality, we're online, but that can be quite isolating sometimes, right? You know, we're building all of these amazing projects, but we're building them all around the world in different places. Right? I mean, like Skiba, you had to come all the way to Europe to Gamescom just to meet and find out all of these things, right? And not everyone's as lucky enough to be able to do that. And so what we found is having a community, right, that you can rely on, that you can work with, that you can talk to, and you can network with easily. You know, that was the first thing, right? And that's the first and foremost. And then there's other things that are typical, like you know, finding access to funding, financing, and growing things, investment and distribution and things like that. Mm-hmm. But you know, that was the biggest thing for us in this space.
Nice.
Well, that's huge because these are all the things that VR needs to properly grow. Mm-hmm. You know, developers need funding, companies need funding. We all need to network. We have to learn from each other, and this is just fundamental for an industry to really, really flourish. So it's amazing to see someone out there kind of taking those reins and making that happen.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Props to AIXR.
Quick shout out to Ashley C with the $4.99 super chat. She says more coffee from Coffee.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Ashley Coffee, for providing
clever
coffee fund.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's a networking.
Send the coffee to me.
Yes, coffee is coming to you.
It didn't show up at your door yet. Did you check outside?
No, it's not here yet.
Well, don't hold your breath. So what is it? So it's a networking platform, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like from a practical perspective? Like, let's say I want to learn, let's say I want to become a member. I want to participate somehow in this platform. What does that look like? Like, what can I do? In what ways can I leverage it? Just practically.
Well, this is what's quite exciting, right? At the moment, so historically, what we've been doing with AIXR, we've only worked with companies in this space. So we have quite a lot of companies who operate in the space and build really cool things, who are members of AIXR, and they really utilize it on the business side of this. But actually, what we've been doing for the last year, actually, behind the scenes and not really talking to anyone about it, is we've been building an actual digital web platform, a 2D web platform that people can sign up to and go on for free, right? And this is huge for us because we've never done something like that before. And essentially our goal now is we're going to go from, a couple thousand people who are companies in this space and operating to potentially hundreds of thousands of people who are also just enthusiasts and not just professionals in this space who can sign up to AIXR for free and make the most out of these opportunities that we're able to push out, whether it's finding jobs, talking about their favorite experiences and things like that as well. So we've got the free aspect of this in terms of trying to get this out to as many people, evangelizing the technology, understanding the technology, but then also the professional side of this. So if you work in this space, you can sign up to be a member of AIXR. And then what we end up doing is we have things like our advisory boards where we actually work with people who work in this industry on a monthly basis. We talk about problems and also solutions as an example of that. Then also, all of the events that we tend to run from, we have the VR awards, but we also partner with all of the major big events to see how we can support them with insights, getting some of our members out there, talking about the things, guidance on those areas as well. But the most important thing for us now is that we're going to open our community up to individuals in this space who are really excited about the technology, who can sign up for free or become a pro member, and really extend their network and their excitement for this space as well.
Wow. So would it be fair to say this sounds a little bit like an XR version of LinkedIn?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly that. Yeah. And the good thing is the platform that we've built is we've interviewed people based on what do you want to know about people that's important in this space, right? So their skill sets, what they're working on, it's not just the generic LinkedIn stuff. Companies can actually showcase their products or their tools that they've been working on as well. And it just makes it easier to do business in this space.
Wow, this sounds pretty awesome, and
pretty epic.
I appreciate getting a little bit of perspective on this because I saw recently just by going to the website and stuff that you guys have a pre-sign up or something for it that you've kind of started right now. When is this launching? When do you plan on having this available for everybody?
I can't give an official date just yet because it's in beta. So right now it's invitation only. So people who are actually AIXR members right now have access to the platform. They're testing it out, giving us feedback. But you can sign up to the wait list right now. And essentially we're wave onboarding people. So when we announce the first onboarding of it, the people in the top 100 will go on first. And then we'll be able to invite more people on. And also we'll be giving away free pro memberships to the people who are in the top 100 as well. So if you are interested in a space, it doesn't harm to be able to just go on the wait list and you can find out what we're doing a little bit more of and go from there really.
Sweet. Yeah, follow the links in the description to AIXR stuff and it shouldn't take you long to find the waitlist sign up for that. Which I would recommend everybody, if you're here listening to this show right now, you care enough about VR to be a part of this. So get signed up and get in early because if all of the stuff that we've been talking about so far is any indication, I don't think AIXR is going anywhere, and it's only going to get bigger and better and a bigger and better part of the VR community. So jump in now while you're still early and be a cool kid.
The thing as well, what's really important about it is it not just being early to this, is that the people that are joining this now, they're the people that are actually helping us to shape this. We're not building something that's just going to be this is what AIXR says, this is what it's going to be. it's working with the community to build something that they need, that they want. So I really want to get people onto the wait list so that we can ask them, hey, what's your challenge? What's your problem? What can we build with you? And we've already started doing that with all the feedback that we're getting from AIXR members to just work on the things like helping them, build out their talent and skill sets and things like that within companies as just one example.
Nice. Sweet. Well, yeah, links in the description. People, go be a part of that. I'll wait for the invite. All right, in my inbox, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm definitely not on there already.
I hate you. You do everything.
Don't look to your right.
I know this guy, man. Like I love you, and I'm so happy for all of your successes. But this guy just gets it all.
Actually, Contact CI is a member of AIXR, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Craig, our CEO, has been a judge in the VR Awards in the past, so I don't know if that means...
Yeah, you should ask him about that. Maybe he's the one that hasn't invited you.
Boom.
Everyone, you're all at fault. It's all your fault. But yeah, so as you can see, this is it's been an exclusive thing, but not anymore. So get on the wait list.
Do it. These platforms are very powerful. Things like LinkedIn and X or Twitter or whatever it is. Right. So this is gonna be huge, I think.
What was that, Daniel?
Oh, thanks. I was going to say, we've been told to only talk about the network and stuff, but the really cool things as well is it's got groups that you can join and follow to learn more about what's happening in the space. It's also got learning as an example, so you can actually take courses. We call them micro courses because, in my opinion, nobody has time to do a 12-hour course, but you can do bite-sized courses to learn about different areas of XR and what's happening in the space. And then resources. We uploaded about 60 to 80 hours of content so far, about help you to learn about what experts are talking about in the space. And then we also uploaded over 1,000 reports from different spaces that you can actually download as well and starting to build on that as well.
Awesome.
Wow, that's a lot of value, a lot of data. So if you work in VR or if you are just an enthusiast, join that way.
So let me ask this. How long was AIXR a thing or a concept or even a company before the VR Awards were a thing? Were you guys doing stuff before the VR Awards happened? Did it start with the VR Awards? What does that timeline look like?
You want to go way back?
I want to go back there.
Way back. Okay. The VR Awards started before AIXR.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, we did it the reverse way. And the reason being was because when we did the awards, what ended up happening was it snowballed. We did not expect it to build into what it was going to do. I mean, you've got to put a picture here, right? You've got 3 people running this entire event. There was no one else involved in this space. It was just us 3 being able to do that. At the time, I'll let you in on this. I was 18 when we first started the awards, right? In 2017. And it was very new in that space. But what ended up happening is so many people were just so genuinely excited and happy with what we were able to do with them in that space. And, we had AMD sponsor and a few other key players come in on this space. That we literally had to sit down with all of these people and say, hey guys, because all of them were coming saying, we need you to do more. We love this. And we're like, okay, well, what can we do that could be sustainable long term? So we started off doing some more awards, but it was in 2019 we launched AIXR as a brand, right? And we started it as just a membership organization. And then it was actually post-COVID, so I can't even remember what the dates are now. It was kind of the start of this year that we completely went into the digital realm only. So rather than just being a membership organization, we are a digital platform now with that work by the end of the year to be able to build out a lot more of that as well. So yeah.
Wow, I would not have guessed that. I would have thought for sure that AIXR was doing some stuff, and then all of a sudden the VR Awards idea came up in a meeting, and then bam, and now you're known for that, and but I guess it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, we're showing
it was Vicky Dobbs-Beck from ILMX Lab and Lucasfilm, and also at the time I think it was Colin Slovene, who was the head of media for Facebook. He's gone on to EA now, but I sat down with those two, and we kind of hatched a bit of a plan of what could we do that could have industry backing, because also the thing is, guys, you can't do any of this without the support of some of the major players in this space. They've got to have your back. So that was a key thing that the awards allowed us to do, because they had already seen like the quality bar had already been set of what we could achieve, right? So that's where it went from there.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a excellently executed event, dude. Like, it felt like I was at a really like professional and like well organized and well thought out thing, you know. Like, it felt like the Oscars of VR, you know. Yeah, it really did. And I mean, how, like, do you work on this all year long? You know, like, what does it take to pull this off and get prepared for it and then finally execute it at the level of professionalism that you guys are?
No, I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into something like that. So you've got to understand, we're building AIXR, right? So our team is full time on this in terms of building the platform, working with our members, doing our community support, hosting these meetups, going to these events, right? But the VR Awards sounds like this one, like, especially to viewers online, they watch it online and they're like, oh, okay, this is the VR Awards, right? But actually, it's a year-round event that starts literally at the start of January, like works immediately starts, right, in terms of everything, preparations. We do our winners tour. We do Ask Me Anything with all of our winners. And then we jump straight into having to set up all of the periods of nominations. We have to go through, revise the structure of everything, make sure we check that with our board. And then, you know, you imagine fielding questions from over 500 different questions all at one time as soon as you open the nominations period up, and you've got to start supporting creators in this space to understand things and what you're working on. So it's a really big thing, and we're about to go into judging now, right? And as you've already mentioned, we don't half it when it comes to the judging aspect of this. We built a jury of 70 people, because I was actually speaking to someone about this again earlier today. We built a jury of 70 people because for us, we want to make sure that the judging is not biased, right? The more voices you have as part of this and involved in this, the more of a broad spectrum and diverse spectrum of interest you have as well. So we're managing 70 judges. We've got to wrangle them together. They're kind of like cats everywhere, who are very busy people. And then you've also got experiences that aren't on the app stores, right? So you've got to think about, how do we distribute these kind of things? So luckily we partnered with HoloHub, who are one of our members. They do an enterprise distribution thing. So we've managed to actually build an app that can go onto people's Quest headsets, and we can just deploy the applications direct to their headsets, as an example. Back before COVID, we used to have 5 physical judging centers, one in LA, New York, one in San Francisco, one in Europe and around, because people also didn't have a lot of access to hardware back in 2017 and 18 and 19. Now they luckily do, right? So we don't have to do that anymore. But we also had to have this whole network of distribution for an entire 2 weeks of judging as well.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's a big thing. And then when you get to the actual awards itself, right, there's everything from having to... The one thing I will say to you guys, have you ever hosted a dinner party for your friends before?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
So inevitably, there's one person who has a dietary restriction, right? Or has that.
Yeah, it's usually me.
There we go. Now imagine you have 300 people invited to a dinner party.
Oh, man.
And you've got to make sure the food all comes out at the same time, right? So, yeah, for us, we have a lot of work to do just getting people's dietary restrictions. And if they don't give them on time, they get a free from vegan meal default. So, you know, so we've set it up in the best way possible now. But yeah, all to say, it starts in January and it ends in January.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate what, you know, like you giving us a little bit more insight into like how the judging and stuff works, because I feel like oftentimes people, when they're from the outside looking in on this kind of event, it gets easy to like, I don't know, like not give it the benefit of the doubt. Like I've seen people on the internet be like, oh, these awards ceremonies, they're just like a bunch of circle jerks, or, you know, they just pay to get nominated. And then when you get paid, and then you just win the award, you know, that's bullshit. Like I've like seen this kind of stuff, especially around, I feel like there's a lot of almost like controversy or like maybe information that's not entirely clear when it comes to the content creator award, right? Because, you know, we were honored to be named as finalists in the VR Awards for Content Creator for the past 2 years for Between Realities. And neither time did we submit ourselves. You know, like we never put our own nomination in. So somebody, maybe an AIXR board member or somebody nominated us, and we eventually got selected as a finalist. But there are people who, when they see others on that list, they're like, oh, they just paid to be there, and you know, it just, and because they have a huge audience and there's a vote, they're just gonna win automatically, you know. And there's just like a lot of stuff like that comes up. So since we've got you, do you think you could like set the record straight on some of these like misconceptions about how these things go?
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to, because I think the one thing I'll say is we remove AIXR from the judging process, period. Like we're not involved in any aspect of judging when it comes to the awards, right? So that's designed by default, because I go to a lot of events. I know you guys, you know, I love you guys, but also I don't want to be any bias towards the judging whatsoever as part of this. So as part of the NDA that all of our judges sign, and part of that disclosure agreements that they have in terms of, you know, potential conflicts of interest as well. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that that's completely separated from AIXR as well. It's only, you know, the AV aspect of the team who has to be aware of who winners are, because they're planning all that stuff. But we keep it separate from all of the AIXR team as well, to even avoid all of those potential situations.
Mm-hmm. And then if somebody's like, oh, like this company is like just buying their nomination or whatever, like what would you say to somebody who thinks that this is something that you can just pay your way into?
Yeah, well, look, I first ever conference I went to was I won't name the event. First ever conference I went to, I snuck into it. I think I was like 15.
Nice.
I didn't have any tickets, couldn't afford to go, and I snuck in. But I ended up going to the really big award show there, right, in terms of this, and I learned a lot, like through that process. And actually after that, I did freelance marketing as work, and I actually worked for a property investors organization, and I actually launched their first ever award show for property investors, right? And the one thing that I very much learned from all of these processes and all of the people that I spoke to is integrity is the most important thing that an award show can have, right? The awards mean absolutely nothing if they can just be given away to people and they can be bought. So in terms of our process, right, you can't buy an award. You can't be kind of like propositioned for an award. We keep our judges separate from our finalists and our nominees for a reason, including all of that process. The way that we build it out, right, is our team at the start of the year do a kind of a scouting curation exercise. This is why we go to events. We find out what's going on in the places as well. We scout, we look at this, and then we also have a kind of a list of creators and things like that we'll go out to and say, okay, these are games, projects that have been worked on this year. We'd encourage you to submit them for the awards, but we have no control over if they get nominated or not. As part of that process, it's down to the individuals or stuff. We have our scouts, we look out for stuff, and obviously we want to be aware of what's been the trends are in the industry. But this is how it works in terms of that process as well. And so when it comes down to the nominations and shortlisting period, then we're completely removed from it. It goes to our juries, who then on a 10-point system, actually we're very transparent around the point system and how it works. We have help articles that are public for everyone to see so they can see how that works. But the jury is guided based on all of these questions, and also are based on the submission materials and also the trying of the experience itself as well, in addition to being encouraged to check what's being published publicly in terms of user reviews, as well on store pages.
So it doesn't, I don't hear you stumbling over a single word over there. So if you're out there like still like talking smack about the VR awards, saying that like this is, you know, like, well, it's not the real deal.
And to be fair, it's not just the VR awards, it's most award ceremonies that people kind of sometimes have these thoughts about, right? But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty legit system, and you can go onto the website, like Daniel's saying, and you can check these things and read up on how all of this stuff works in pretty good detail.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but look, I completely understand, like as a consumer and as a person who loves to watch awards and see, I completely understand where people come from, you know, in this space, because, you know, especially when you're passionate about something, right? Like you've been playing this game, you've been trying this out, you're passionate, and you're like, why the hell, A, is this not nominated? And B, or something like that, why did this not win? It must be rigged. So, and I thought that about things before in the past. So I see where people are coming from at all times, right? So, you know, I don't think it's totally fair to address. Yeah. The other thing I want to completely address as well, just now while we're here, this is the 7th International VR Awards, right? Hosted in 2023. It's not the VR Awards 2023, we're hosting it in 2023. So we're very clear in terms of the submissions that we accept, which is from the 1st of August, it's basically August to August in terms of the project release dates that we have as well on things. So sometimes you don't see nominations or things because it falls into a different period or the next period. And we're constantly reviewing this because we know lots of projects come out in September or November, and we want to give them the best opportunity as well. But at the end of the day as well, it's also down to the company itself to nominate that and put forward the details required for the application. We can reach out to them, but if they don't send us the keys that we can send to the judges, you know, we can't consider them for a nomination, which is another thing.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it does require participation from the nominee to be involved in the VR Awards.
Yeah. And some people are very content with not being involved in awards or needing that thing. And, you know, we're not there to pester them. Right. We're just there to help celebrate them, really.
Right. Yeah. What else is there, since we're like kind of on the topic, that's just like really high level that you think is important that, we convey about the VR Awards or about the AIXR process with this, or just like, you know, maybe a common misconception or something, you know, an FAQ, just any of those, like that, like low hanging fruit that we can just pluck.
Yeah, I mean, look, at its heart, I'll be honest, the VR Awards is a B2B, it's a business-to-business event, all right? It's for businesses in this space who are operating on that. We decided to live stream it and put it out because there's so many people who are passionate about this, who want to see this stuff and want to be able to do that. And also you have lots of huge teams who can't make it to the awards who want to see this, right? So we're not the Game Awards. We don't have that level of budget. We're not BAFTA or those kind of things. We aspire to be that level of stuff, right? But ultimately, this is for businesses who operate in this space, to celebrate businesses. And I think there's other things that we can do in the entertainment sphere and space going forward as XR becomes more mainstream in terms of a technology. But sometimes the expectation is like, hey, look at the Game Awards and look at all these amazing things they've got. And I love the Game Awards. I think it's amazing. I always link it to the AV team and our team, and then they go, Daniel, we also need $500,000 more in budget. And I'm like, okay, there's always next year.
Well, you know, I'm sure that you're always building and, you know, just improving wherever you can year after year. You know, last year was the first time I've ever been able to attend, so it's the only one I can speak to. But, you know, I just know from like doing Between Realities, like we improve every single season, you know, so I'm sure you guys are constantly making improvements. And I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed my experience at the VR Awards. I loved it. The dinner was good. You know, like the food was good. There was drinks. It was super professional.
Yeah, the thing, right, is half of the awards is actually about being there in person. Like, I can't tell you the feeling that I personally get when we open the doors and you see all of those people in tuxedos, like lined up, like they're on the red carpet, and you know that aspect of it is just so cool to me because I'm always at tech events, I'm always at gaming events, and everyone's in shorts and a t-shirt, and that's all I ever see them as. However, this is the one time of the year that you get to feel like a rock star, like actually there, and that's what we wanted to give to people. And I think that's
the only way you're going to get Skiva in a tuxedo.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one, but I will be there in a tuxedo, and I am stoked to go. And my company, Impact Reality, PR and Marketing, is a finalist for VR Upcoming Company of the Year, which really, like, stuff like this really helps to reinvigorate all the passion in a company, right? You know, it's an amazing thing to be nominated, but when you have all these people that work so hard that are then recognized for being one of the best in the industry, I mean, everyone gets so excited. They feel like all of this work that they've done throughout the year is like really worth it and paying off, and people are noticing, and it's really good. So we are stoked to be there. I cannot wait, and I will absolutely be in a tuxedo, ready to rock.
There's only
you mentioned something that's important there, right? Is like, Game of the Year is fantastic, and that's why it's the last category, right? And that's the thing that gets most people who are watching live really excited. But the things that get me excited are things like rising and innovative companies. They're technically the boring categories to people who are watching online.
Yeah,
but actually, when we're speaking to people, and this is why we do it, right? When we are speaking to people, and then they tell you, "Hey guys, we actually literally cried like when this happened." Because it meant that much to them, right, in terms of that space. Because these people are doing amazing work, and they never really get to talk about it. They're always behind the scenes. They're not as flashy or as cool as the games, right? But they're doing phenomenal stuff. Sometimes stuff that saves lives of people, right? Like quite literally. Right, and so this makes it all worthwhile. All of the 4 a.m. nights that we have running up to the awards, trying to make sure everything is in order and things like that. That's what makes it worthwhile. Of getting that the no sleep as part of that, because it's the reactions that you get to see at the end, and how genuine, of an impact it makes for people.
Well, it really, really does. I mean, recognition is a big deal when you're trying to push forward and do something that matters, right? You're not in the VR industry because you're trying to get rich. You're in it because you're passionate. You know it's the future. You are all about immersive technology and growing this industry and making other people understand how important it is. And really, you got to work really, really hard to succeed in XR. And this is the kind of thing that really fuels people to be brought up and put in a list with some of the best of the best. Is a big deal for a lot of companies, for a lot of people that are just really trying to make a difference. So these types of things are so absolutely important.
Yeah, I agree.
They really, really are. So props.
And like to Arcanian's message in the chat there as well, like in our opinion, that would be fantastic, but that's a different kind of award show. That's an entertainment-based award show, right? In terms of you're focusing just really then on the entertainment pieces like games and films and experiences. Whereas ours is for businesses, it covers healthcare, it covers enterprise, because these are the lesser known things in our space that actually prop up a lot of the ability to do games. Many of the game studios that today started in enterprise, right? Because that's where the money is for them. Right, and giving them an opportunity to get that space up so that they can do the things that they're passionate about. That's what matters, and that's what ended up allowing us to build out AIXR as a platform, right? Because we realized that not only do you need to recognize people for the work that they do, but you need a way to allow them to do that work as well, to find those people in that space, and everyone wants to feel like they have a home, right? Like your viewers right now are here probably because this feels comfortable, right? To be here in this chatting environment together. We're a community, right? But think about the founders. Think about the executives who are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into their startups as well in this space. They need a home as well, and that's part of our goal as well.
I love it. There's really only one thing that I can think of that would improve what you guys are doing with the VR awards. Do you know what it is?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Give me the microphone and let me dish these awards out. I will crush it, dude. All right?
We'll speak about it after the show.
Door is open. I would love it.
Exclusive on the show here. Well, the door is open.
All right, we're going to talk about it because I have a feeling if you give me that microphone, you wouldn't regret it.
I remember in the live chat of the last VR Awards, which I watched live, we had the entire Resolution Games team, a bunch of creators, V-Bunny Go, and just a whole bunch of people that were there, and we were all watching it on a screen while we all hung out and did our thing, and it was really awesome. But I remember a lot of people in the live chat going, Alex should be hosting this.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, Alex, can we work with you on with ChatGPT to just make the worst, most cringe VR jokes together?
I mean, at least they'd be VR jokes. You know,
I don't think Alex needs ChatGPT
really
for that.
Me last year for the live stream, it really annoyed me when I watched it back. Because I have no idea why, but the external AV team who was responsible for the live stream, every time it cut to the audience side of things, they completely muted the laughs and the claps. So every time the comedian did a joke, it sounded like it was deadpan, like to anyone watching live. But in the room, people were like literally like falling over with some of these jokes. But you live and you learn from these kind of things.
That is funny. So anyway, you know, obviously I'm a huge fan of AIXR and the VR awards, and I will support you no matter what. But yeah, we can talk about that because I don't know. I feel like I should be up there. It just seems right to me.
That's amazing.
So we should probably start to wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want to mention before we say goodbye, Daniel?
You know, like we could spend another 2 hours right now, like because there's so many things that are behind the scenes that we do. I mean, like. This is why I like meeting you guys in person, because you get to understand that there's real people behind this.
Yeah.
Right. As well. Like you people are used to watching you guys on the screen, right? Or what used to just seeing what we do as an output. But actually, like the thing that I value the most is people as part of this. So, you know, when people give us comments and give us feedback, we take it in stride. You know, how can we use that to be bigger, better, and stronger going forward? Funding, budgets, and things like that is always the biggest difficulty, because if it was up to me, we would shoot for the skies in all of this side of things. And, you know, we have huge ambitions as part of all of that. But at the end of the day, right, like, you know, I can give you a story from at the VR Awards, which kind of in 2017, that kind of helps me illustrate a point here. At the end of the day, we are all human beings with this kind of stuff. In 2017, I remember walking around the venue, doing my double checks, and we had the ceremony going on live, right, in the main ceremony room. And I go downstairs to check because we have a really kick-ass like after party, and we ended up in 2017. We had like a whole range of like demos with Razer. Like laptops and things like that going off, and the team was setting them up in the after party lounge while we were upstairs. And then essentially what ended up happening is all of a sudden I'm downstairs and I hear, "This is an emergency," loud, and then a siren starts going and said, "This is not a test." And like a huge siren go, doo. All the staff look at me as if I know what's going on. And like, "Daniel, what do we do? Do we evacuate?" And I'm like, "1 second." And I run the fastest I've ever run with my heart like this upstairs to the ceremony room. And thank God it was a silent alarm upstairs. So everyone is just blissfully sitting there, right? Like as if nothing has happened, right? In terms of all of this process, like, and unaware of this. And luckily it was because someone was smoking a cigarette in the shower in the hotel room upstairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Man, that could have been bad.
Yeah. But luckily on our risk assessment check, these kind of things show up. So we have a system in place so that in the venue, the fire alarm goes off as a silent alarm, and someone from the health and safety team gets alerted first. They go to investigate it, and then they'll put the alarm on first. And thank God that was there, right? As part of that. But it was in that moment of sheer terror and panic when I was like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to like send everyone outside. They're all doing this. We're gonna have to bring them in again." But the point is like that didn't happen, and that was great, right? But the feedback is no one there would have even cared about that, because they were all there really to have a good time and to celebrate of that. They would have come back in, they would have talked of this stuff, and we would have been able to continue talking about how amazing the work that they're doing is in this space. And right, and it's never going to be perfect what we're trying to build or what we're trying to go with right now, yeah. But if we do our best to be that space and to do that space, and if everyone else in this place also does their best, we're going to get there. And that's why I value community more than anything with what we do.
I don't know if I could have said it any better, brother. Yeah, amen. Yep. And for the record, that's us too, dude. Like, we value nothing more than this community. Like, the people behind what is happening here are like more magical somehow than the magical technology that's being developed around us every day.
Hallelujah.
Like, I don't know how, but it is. Like, I have fallen in love with the VR community, not just like the people within the VR community. I truly have. And I think we're all really, really lucky to be a part of this. And it's events like the VR Awards that make me feel lucky to be involved in this space. So thank you so much for all of the hard work that you and your team are doing to give the VR community this like cool and like prestigious kind of like beautiful red ribbon on the end of the year. It really does mean a lot.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Colaianni. Thank you.
No, you gotta sound more like Mario, okay?
Colaianni. It's Daniel Colaianni.
There we go.
Is that right? Is that?
Yeah, that's, of course it's right. Daniel, thank you, dude, so much for everything again. Thank you for being on the show. CEO of AIXR. You were the real deal. We'll see you in November.
We will.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna look pretty dapper.
Everybody,
awesome.
say goodbye to Daniel with us. Bye, Daniel.
Bye,
see you,
Daniel.
Thanks, everyone.
Talk to you soon.
He's gone. Yeah. Well, that was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I love the VR Awards. I loved it before I attended it, just because it's sweet.
Same.
And it was great to be able to just like dive in and like ask some of those questions.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I mean, there's always been a lot of mystery into how things like that are organized and how it came to be and what is AIXR, and now we all know better than we ever have before, and I cannot wait to get down there. I cannot wait. I just got back from Europe. I am already booking tickets to go back to get over to the Netherlands, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. It's going to be sick.
Thank you all for joining us for this live broadcast of the Between Realities VR podcast here on September 1st, 2023, the year of our Lord. And I'm excited because we're going to have another episode next week, though. We don't have to wait 2 weeks this time.
I know, right? That's pretty awesome.
So tell us, what can we expect for the next episode of Between Realities?
Next episode here, we are going to have on some fellow podcasters. Which, by the way, Daniel is also a fellow podcaster. There is an awesome podcast by AIXR that they put on. So you should go check that out as well. But next week, we will have the virtual boys on, Shug and Ryan, and it'll be just, a good time. Talking about video
VR
games
Grid.
Yep.
Ryan, Chris from Shughead Gaming.
Yep.
Literally the first 2 YouTube channels for VR I ever watched.
Wow.
Literally.
That's pretty wild.
They are the reason why I signed into YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't wait to have those guys on. It's going to be like a beautiful full circle thing. Mickey
That's
Bear
amazing.
at the last minute dropping an Electronauts Steam key. That's definitely one worth scooping up.
That's a good one.
Thank you guys all for joining us. Virtual Strangers, that's Wes. What's up, bro?
Hey,
I love
Wes.
you, dude. Erwar Woowar is here, and thank you for showing up. And Paradise Decay, of course.
PD.
Michelle
it was
B.
awesome, PD. I just got to say, it was so rad hanging out with you and everyone else that we got to hang out with in the UK. It was absolutely phenomenal. You guys are all as amazing as you seem in your videos.
PD, you have no idea how jealous I am that Skiva got to hang out with you. And also, thank you for the CD with the autograph. I am going to cherish that thing for the rest of my life. And shout out to Doc Ock for the miniature that I got too. Jay Dunn, thanks for being here for the show, dude. Jay Bratt, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you. Duggars K, Mepper, Arcanian, Bluebell. Thank you guys for being here and participating in the live show. Glitch Fandango got to roll through here. Hussein X. All
Game On Scorpio, who was also there hanging out at our content creator party in the UK. Absolutely amazing dude. Yeah. Thank you, Game On Scorpio, for the ride as well to the train station. Got to meet Fluke Rogi, by the way.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Daysnetic. E-Pilot
Daysnetic was there too.
Yeah, dude. Ashley Coffee, Fluke Rogi, who was in the chat earlier, Classy Grandma, who was in the chat earlier. Thank you all so much. I really, really want to play After the Fall this weekend. So join our Discord server in the link below. We're going to put together a group for that. I think some Breachers is going down tonight. So join the Discord and look out for Brandon's shout out. I'm sure he'll be pinging us. I don't know. That's it. Hopefully Firewall's not broken. If it's not, I'll be in there. Are you busy this weekend? You doing daddy duty?
So excuse me. I am back from Europe. I was gone for 2 weeks, and tonight I pick up my daughter, and I am so stoked to see her for the first time in 2 weeks. So I will not be around. I will be soaking up my daughter. So.
That's that. Do that. She's a sweetheart, and so are you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
We will see you guys next Friday with the Virtual Boys. Have a great weekend. Join the Discord. We love you very dearly. Bye.
Bye-bye.